I got another call here. You want to go for it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's from Catholic Traditionalist, him from Louisiana, and he wants to talk about the ontological intelligibility proving the existence of God. I don't know how that's going to prove the existence of God, but let's see what he has. How you doing, Catholic Traditionalist?
Hello, how you doing? How you doing?
Good.
Am I
How are
coming
you?
in loud and clear?
Yes, you are.
Very good. Yeah, so you guys are atheists, huh?
I'm an atheist, but go ahead.
You're a what?
An atheist. I'm an agnostic atheist, IG theist.
Okay, what is that?
Atheism is the idea that the question of the existence of God is meaningless because we don't have an unambiguous definition of what God is.
Oh, I could give you a definition of God, a simple definition.
I said unambiguous definition. I said unambiguous definition of God is. The problem is that everybody has their own definition. And it's been my experience that even two people sitting next to please don't cut me off, it's been my experience that people sitting next to each other in the same pew don't even have the same exact idea of what God is.
No, I'm not cutting you off. I'm just saying yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, in other words, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give you anything ambiguous. It's going to be something that you can make sense of. It's not something that you're going to be like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. I can't, just doesn't compute in my mind. So let's just define God as an intelligent agent. You know, like you're an intelligent agent, I'm an intelligent agent. We both have minds, right? You would agree with that, right?
Sure.
Well, I agree that I do, but I mean, Are you defining God that way, or is that what God is?
Yeah. Well, you don't think I have a mind, and the other individual that's hosting the show with you has a mind?
It's not even close to anything that I said. I said that I do have a mind, but you said that's what God is. And what I asked you was, are you just defining God to be that, or is that what God is?
Yes, I'm simply defining God to be that, and I believe that's what God is. You don't.
Okay.
I'm guessing you don't. Well, do you? If I were to give that definition, you would say no, that you don't believe that God exists, right?
No, and the difference is I know that I exist. I don't know that God exists. So when you say God is these things, I can't merely take your word for it. Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to go in and explain why it is that this God does exist. Okay. So with regards to everything that you perceive to exist, it's informational, right?
No clue what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
You don't know what information means?
No, it was the whole statement.
Yeah, saying that everything is informational is not the same thing as do I know what the definition of information is?
Well, in order for you to perceive it, it has to contain information, right? You'd agree with that, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so that's what I mean by informational. You would agree everything you perceive to exist is informational, correct?
Yeah, there's a material world in front of me, and I'm able to perceive that material world. Yeah, we could call the information that feeds into my senses information.
Right.
I mean, we have information about abstract things. That's a little bit bold.
Yeah. So the thing is, there's some scientists out there that claim, there could be parallel dimensions or things that we're unable to perceive that may exist. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the set of things that we're able to perceive.
I think you are talking about that because you're going to tell us that a God exists in a different sort of realm.
Well, let's not move ahead. Let's just deal with what I put forward on the plate.
Why don't we just move ahead? Let's get right to the point instead of going through all this. Let's get right to the point.
Well, that's the thing. We have to go through this in order to get to the point, in order for you to understand the point.
Do you think that after I've been doing these shows for 3.5 years now, do you think I don't understand the points?
Well, you wouldn't understand the point until I go through it. Okay, so let me just go through it.
Seriously, I'm going to ask you again. Do you seriously think I won't understand your point without you having to go through 20 steps to get us there?
I don't know you. Okay, and I've spoken to many atheists, and many times
I'm not an atheist. I'm an atheist.
Not only for you. Well, with regards to atheists, I think the other individual is an atheist, right? So, with regards to atheists, and I'm sure you have some atheist viewers out there. It would make sense to go through the different categories of the argument, giving the proof, so that when I get to the point, people will understand the point. Okay? Is that okay with you?
It works for me.
Yeah, sure. I just think that we're going through something we don't need to go through, but go ahead. Well,
you're taking callers, right? And the thing is, we're having a conversation.
Go ahead.
Just go ahead.
I'll land the plane.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I won't monologue. I'll land the plane. So the thing is, since you agree that all things that you perceive to exist are informational, do you also agree that it's information in the sense that it doesn't necessarily need us to exist for it itself to be informational?
No, I don't agree to that at all. Information is only information if somebody's there to interpret it as information.
Okay. So then you don't believe that it has the ontological nature of being informational. Is that your position?
I don't know exactly what that was supposed to mean, what you just asked me.
If what you're saying is supposed to mean, are there things that exist that we don't know about? Then I'm tempted to say that's probably the case. Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. No. So with regards to what I'm saying is the things itself, and I'll give you an example. Like, for example, if you're seeing a certain type of car, okay, you tell me, what car do you love? You really like that particular car?
It doesn't matter. Ford Focus. It doesn't matter.
Can you think of that? Okay. Ford Focus.
Terrible answer.
Okay. So Ford Focus. So it's a Ford Focus. So this Ford Focus, you have two individuals that's sitting down in chairs. They're looking at this thing that's in front of them. One says to himself, "That's a Ford Focus." Would you believe that? Would you accept that? Would it be credible that and probable that the individual sitting next to him would also recognize that vehicle to be a Ford Focus?
That has nothing to do with what I said, though. That has nothing to do with what I was talking about.
Are two people capable of agreeing about what's in front of them? Yes.
It has to do with the point that I'm getting across, because you said to my question that it doesn't, in and of itself, it's not informational. So that's why I'm asking you this question, this follow-up question. If you had two individuals looking at this vehicle.
Yes, but I don't see what that has to do with what I said. Okay, I'm agreeing. Yes, those two people can agree that it's a Ford Focus, but what does that have to do with what I said?
Didn't get my... Okay, can I get the question out first? Can I lay out the scenario and get the question out before you answer it?
Go ahead.
Is that okay? So would it be reasonable that the second individual see exactly, what the first individual is seeing? Would that be reasonable?
That is something that we know happens.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Something has to be seen for the information to be information. without somebody seeing it, without somebody to interpret it as information, then there is no information there. And in your example, you're using people seeing it. You're using people to interpret the information. And that's why I'm trying to tell you that your example has nothing to do with what I just said.
Yeah. So we have people seeing it, right? So there's the epistemological aspect of it, whereby their sensory perception, they're taking in the information and they're perceiving that information.
Yes.
But why is it that one individual, the first one, oh, you disagree with what I just said?
No, I'm just saying, yes, they take in the information. But what I'm trying to tell you is if there was nobody there to take in the information, there wouldn't be information. That's the point that you're not getting. It seems like it's going over your head or something, but you're not hearing what I'm saying. And that's why I'm disagreeing with this whole line, is because you started out with the proposition that everything is information by itself, and I don't agree with that.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. Okay. That's why I'm laying out the scenario. That's why I laid out the scenario.
I know, but you laid out a scenario that has nothing to do with what I said, though.
It does, and I will explain if you would allow me. Can I continue?
Yeah, I'm going to give you like 2 minutes, right? And here's the thing. I'm going to give you the elevator test. We're going to be taking an elevator ride for 2 minutes. Explain to me in that elevator ride what you're trying to get across to us. Go.
Yeah. So with regards to the two individuals, you don't have one individual sing a Ford Focus and the second individual sing a monkey playing drums. The reason for that is because the thing itself has the properties of a Ford Focus.
Yeah, because they're perceiving it.
So, for example, if you were to, I'm still speaking, you said that in the elevator, you were simply going to allow me to explain for 2 minutes in the elevator my position. May you allow me to continue?
I'm getting ready to hang up on you if you don't stop the meta crap, okay? Just explain it.
Why are you getting mad?
Because you can't explain it and you're getting caught up in this meta shit. Just explain it.
You're the one that seems to be getting upset. Just calm down and allow me to explain it for your audience.
Oh my goodness.
So if these two individuals were to go ahead and pop out of existence, and let's say 1,000 years later, two other completely different individuals pop into existence, and they are looking at that Ford Focus again, would it make sense? Would it be reasonable that they would see the Ford Focus, both of them?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So it's the Ford Focus by its very nature has the nature of a Ford Focus, irrespective of whoever it is that's viewing the Ford Focus.
You're claiming that the nature of the thing and information about the thing is something other than the thing existing itself. And Kelley just doesn't agree with that.
Yeah, you totally missed it. You totally and completely missed what I was saying. You totally missed it. And again, your example had nothing to do with what I was saying, because your example relied on somebody perceiving the thing. And what I am trying to explain to you is that without somebody perceiving it as information, there is no information there. And it seems like you don't understand that concept.
If there isn't anybody reading Shakespeare, there isn't.
I don't know what Shakespeare has to do with this.
That's what I'm asking you. If there isn't anyone that's because you're saying that it's all dependent upon our perception of the activity of perceiving.
No, I said information. Information is dependent on our perception. The thing isn't. The thing is still there. But the information that thing is conveying relies on somebody perceiving that information.
Right. I don't disagree with you, but that's epistemology. We're not talking epistemology. We're talking ontology. So my question to you is this: if there isn't anyone there to read at the present moment the book of Shakespeare, does that mean that the book of Shakespeare does not contain any information when it's not being read?
So what Kelley is telling you is
Yes
that
or no?
information only is applicable when a conscious agent is, I guess we could say, experiencing, measuring, hearing, tasting the thing. The thing exists, but you're claiming that information about the thing exists alongside the thing itself, irrespective of anything else going on. Kelley doesn't agree with that. Listening to this, I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm kind of more towards Kelley's side of this issue, but that's the disagreement that's going on here. I don't think it's an extremely important one, though.
Okay, no, I understand that he disagrees with me, which is why I asked the question about Shakespeare, and I haven't gotten an answer yet. If someone is, I'll repeat the question. If someone is
the
not
works of Shakespeare still exist, but information doesn't exist unless somebody is consuming that material or experiencing that material in some way. The information, it really only is, it's a phenomenon that we sort of experience with the thing without something there to experience it or whatever. Kelley's going to say there's no information existing alongside the thing. Because we have ways of describing like a snowflake. They tend to have hexagonal patterns, and they're made of water molecules, right? But that information is only information insofar as we are there describing it. The thing itself just exists.
Okay. So then it's Kelley's position that with regards to all the books in the library, if there isn't anyone or any individuals reading those books, then there isn't any information in the library to go to in order to perceive any information.
You really don't get this, do you? You really don't get what I'm trying to say. It's really apparent.
That was my camera dead.
Oh, does a cube have the characteristics of a cube? Yes or no?
Yeah, sure. But again, that has nothing to do with the concept that I'm trying to get across to you.
Okay. Does a sphere have the characteristics of a sphere?
Does a sphere have the characteristics of a what?
Does a sphere have the properties of a sphere? Yes.
Oh, a sphere. I'm sorry.
That is how we describe them, yes.
Okay. Are they distinct from each other based on their characteristics?
Or what things distinct? Spheres and
cubes.
Cubes?
The cube and the sphere. Yeah, the cube and the sphere. Are they distinct?
Yeah, if there's somebody there to perceive that, yeah, sure. Sure, if there's somebody there to perceive the characteristics,
let's say there's no one there. Let's say there's nobody there to perceive.
Then there's no information.
With regards to, hold on. There's nobody there to perceive it. Do they cease being distinct from each other?
No, but that's not the point.
That's not the point.
Catholic, do rocks exchange information with each other?
You've just admitted.
No, Catholic.
No, we haven't admitted shit.
Your answer, hold on.
No, the only thing I'm admitting is that you cannot understand the concept we're trying to get across. That's the only thing I'm going to admit here.
Catholic, do rocks exchange information with each other?
You just said no to my question. Since you admitted that no, they do not somehow negate this distinction between each other when they're not being observed, that means that the distinction between each other based on their characteristics continues to exist. So if that is the case...
But if there's nobody there to perceive it, then it's not information.
Interrupted. Can I finish without being interrupted?
Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to be done with this call because we're not getting anywhere. You're not trying to understand what we're saying. You just keep giving us the same explanation over and over and over again. And you're not trying to understand what we're saying. And I don't think this is going anywhere. So I'm just gonna wrap this call up. If you want to call back and talk to another host, please feel free.